Muskegon has been the most consistent high school football program over the last decade, and as we start 2021, head coach Shane Fairfield trying to get the Big Reds right back where they've been each and every year during his tenure. Coach, what's the key for this team to have the success you've had all these years in a row?
Just get back to physical football and taking care of the football and getting that continuity and that brotherhood that we missed last year. We've had some really good football teams, but I think the truth behind what we do is the relationships that are built in an off season. And not having an off season a year ago, our guys really didn't know each other. Our guys really, they know each other, but it wasn't that brotherhood where you can hang out. So it was like when you're at practice, you got to stay so far, away from each other. They weren't in school. They weren't in the hallway together, in the classroom together, in the car ride together, in the lunchroom together. And at practice, it was come to practice for 2.5 hours, but stay apart. Practice is over, go home, and then stay away from each other. So I think that's what we felt the most, is the fact that we just didn't really feel that bond and that connection.
You have Miles Walton, who's a four-year varsity player, and we don't see that very often anywhere, let alone Muskegon. What is your role with him, considering the experience he's had in the big games he's played in for you?
He's a cool critter, man. He's fun to be around. He's relaxed. He did a really good job at times last year playing quarterback for us. He had a lot of snaps for us last year at quarterback, but we didn't want to take him away from being a slot receiver, and then he played a lot of defense for us. So he's really worked hard in the offseason, which we had an offseason. So now he's been able to run and condition and lift and train as a two-way player, So he's going to play a lot of quarterback, and he's going to still play corner for us. He'll be a 4-year starter for us. I think he's played like 40 games in 3 years. So that's a heck of a resume for a guy to go into. And he's played against some really good teams, so things should be a little slower for him. We're excited to have him, his leadership. We're excited to have his smile. We're excited to have a kid of his ability. I mean, he had kickoff returns for touchdowns when he was a freshman in playoff games. So I'm really excited to see him take over this team and be his team this year.
You had your scrimmage where you learn a little bit more about your team, but we're in game week now. Friday night you open with East Kentwood. What are you most looking forward to about that game, and how important is it to get off to a good start?
Well, it's always great, especially with the playoff system the way it is. So you have to win games that you have to win. That's going to be a battle. They're always good. They always have talent. They're well coached. For us, it's going to be making sure that we take care of the football. It's going to be cliche if everybody says that. You got to take care of the football and minimize penalties. So that's what it's going to come down to. Is we just had a film session where we were talking about things in the scrimmage that were pre-snap penalties, were things that we control. 2 guys in motion, or lining up outside, not enough guys in the line of scrimmage. Blocking the back, or things that we can control that will be the deciding factor early in a season in a game like that.
Muskegon and East Kentwood kick it off on Friday, and then the Big Reds will host Cass Tech week 2 here at Hackley Stadium. Coming up tonight on Fox 17 News at 10, Zach Herrick checks in with John Shillito in Zeeland West. For now, we'll send it back to the studio.